Welcome back to Growth Catalyst, sir. In today's episode, we are going to look at how do you tailor your resume for every single job application. One of the most important things that an employer expects when they see your resume is whether it is tailored to their requirement. Think about it for a minute. You suppose you are the employer and you are advertising for a position. You get 5 different applications. One application is exactly matching what you want, the experience, the kind of skills, the kind of education, whatever that you have asked for is matching to a T. The remaining 4, 2 are more or less there. 3, the remaining 2 are not even there. You have asked for something, the remaining 2 are talking about something else. Tell me, which 1 or 2 applications, which 1 or 2 resumes that you would actually consider? Obvious, right? The first one you would immediately consider because it matches to the T. And the next 2 you may want to go through. And the last 2 you may not even want to go through. That is exactly what we're also talking about. If you can only put yourself in the shoes of the employer, you can really see as to why it is important to match your resume to a T to what they're asking about. But sadly, believe me, a lot of people just don't take this step. They prepare just one resume and send it cut to all kinds of job descriptions, all kinds of offers. They just send that one single resume. And if I can pick one problem that people have as a reason why their resumes are not answered, why they're not even getting an interview call, my pick would be that people have not tailored their resume to the job description. This happens because a lot of people are desperate or in panic mode when they're applying. There's no need to be. There are lots and lots of jobs which are getting created. And if somebody is good, somebody's skills are good, then that somebody need not panic at all. They will be able to find the right job. But having the right skills and experience is one thing, but illustrating that on the resume is a completely different thing. So what I'm going to walk you through is why you need to tailor your resume. And once I've walked you through that importance of that, then I'm going to walk you through how you can tailor your resume. Let's take the first step. Why is it that you should tailor your resume? It's obvious. If you put yourself as an employer, if you are walking in the employee's shoe, you want a resume which is matched to the T for your record. Obvious. There are a couple of more things. The other things are that even before it goes to the employer's end, it needs to match the application tracking system. Because lots and lots of resumes come for any given position. These days, the software tracks the resumes. It does basically just one thing. It looks at the number of skills, the kind of skills that the job description talked about, and tries to match, okay, these were the 10 skills that I wanted, or these 10 skills there in abundance in your resume. It tries to match. And therefore, it is important to ensure that whatever skills are advertised on the job description are also in your resume for you to be even qualified to be there, to be seen by the human eye of the employer. So that's the most important thing after the obvious one of matching your requirements to a T. The other point is a brownie point, which is when you tailor your resume, It also shows the employer that you've taken the care and concern and you have done the research and you have taken the effort to tailor it to their requirements. And people can see through that kind of effort. It requires some kind of effort, and people appreciate the kind of effort that you put in. All of So just to summarize, it grabs attention because you are matching to the T of the requirement of the employer. It beats the ATS. It gets you to be qualified, to be seen by the human eye, and ensure that you get into an interview. Third, it also ensures that you get some brownie points because you are matching your resume to the T for the employee's requirements. And it requires an effort, and people can see that. Now, coming to what are the steps required to ensure that your resume is matching to the T? How do you even do that? You start with number one, analysis of the job description. What is it that they have asked for? And I am assuming that you would have a master resume, which is a repository of all your experience. So if you don't have one, we start with one. It's very simple. I call it as a master resume. It is not going to be seen by any employer in the world. It is for you and your eyes only. It is a repository of all your experiences. I have worked here. I worked in company B. I worked in company C. I worked in company D. And 2 years here, 3 years here, 4 years here, 1 year here. All of these experiences are pulled together. All of the skills are pulled together. All my educational qualifications are pulled together. And I'm not going to omit any single thing. It may even run to 5-6 pages. No problem at all. No problem at all, because it is going to be for my eye only. And I'm not going to show it to anybody else. And similarly, you are going to prepare that master resume, and it can run to 5 pages, 6 pages, no problem at all, because it is for your eye only. You are not going to share it with anybody else in the world. Why am I saying this? Because I want your final tailored resume to be of 1 page. Why am I saying this? Because I want your final tailored resume to be of 1 page. If you have 15, 16 years of experience, then maybe 2 pages and not more than that. Believe me, nobody has the time and the effort and the wherewithal and the willingness to go through beyond 1.5, 2 pages of a resume. So you better restrict yourself to 2 pages maximum. 1 page would be ideal. It is said that a resume has about 7 to 8 seconds of glance from the recruiters. That's all. Imagine that, 7 to 8 seconds of glance. And within that, your resume has to work. And if you have a 5-6 pages of resume for the final resume, God help you. You are going to have no chance on that. So you start with the 5-6 pages of master resume, whatever that you have experienced, whatever that you have studied, whatever your skills are, all of that can be put into that resume. Call it master resume. Don't ever show it to the world. That is for your eyes only. Now, having kept that, you come to the job description. Suppose you are interested in 3 different companies. Let's start with the first company. You go through the job description, look at what are the skills required, what are the experiences required, what is it that they want. If I take the example of software programmer, maybe company 1 is asking for a Python as experience or expertise. Company B may be asking for Java as expertise. Company C may be asking for, I don't know, maybe some other languages expertise. And suppose you have all 3. Now, what is it that you would illustrate? You would showcase. If I were you, I would illustrate and showcase Python for company 1, Java for company 2, and whatever language that the third company has asked for. As long as I have that expertise, I will illustrate that for company 3. And that is what I mean by tailoring for their requirement. And that is what I mean by scanning their job description. So when you scan, you will do 2 things. You will look at what kind of experiences they have asked for. Number two, what kind of skill sets that they're talking about, both hard skills as well as soft skills. And this is the scanning as a first step. Step number two, basis what your scanning tells you, you would now start tailoring each section of your resume. Now, what I mean by that, suppose in your master resume, you have called yourself as experienced project manager. But now when after you have scanned, you see that they're asking for agile development. And they're also asking for 5 years of agile development. Now, you may want to modify that summary of yourself as experienced project manager plus 5 years of agile development, as long as you have it. So that is the tailoring that you need to do for your resume to be a match for the job description that they're asking for. Similarly, whatever experience that they have asked for, as long as you have that experience, call out those keywords. Use exactly the name, the word that they've used for the skill set. If they've asked for SEO, then use SEO, as long as you have it. If they have asked for agile development, then you should say agile development, and you should, even by chance, as long as you have it, you should not miss out on using exactly the keyword that they have called out in their job description. So after scanning the job description, look at section by section by section, ensure that the keywords which are called out in the job description are used adequately and organically across the sections in your resume. That's point number two. The third step is come to the experience section and adjust the experience section. What do I mean by that? You need to quantify your experience. Don't just say that I worked in marketing department. Everybody works in marketing department, sales department, and so on, so on. So it doesn't really matter. What did you do there? And how can I visualize what did you do there? That is what I want to know as an employer. So call out that. Quantify what you did. I delivered 20% growth year on year for the last 3 years. Talk about that. I can visualize. So go to your experience section. If you have a lot of experience, then life becomes actually difficult for you in terms of what you should call out. That is where you should call out the most relevant sections of experience and ensure that you quantify. Then go to the education section. Education section is actually a luxury in a 2-page resume. If you have to cut down something, you can happily cut down education. Nobody cares about your education. After you've got 2-3 years of experience, nobody cares. It's your experience, it's your skill set, it's your learning which is going to take you through. Your education is, by the way, I was there, by the way, I did my courses there. That's all. So if you want to downplay anything, happily, you can downplay the education section. You can make it as thin as you can, but ensure that you call out your most advanced qualification. If you have done a BE, call out at BE. If you have done a CA, call out you have done a CA. If you have done an MBA, call out you have done an MBA from this university. 1 or 2 lines of education also is good enough. Skill section is going to be very, very important section. Ensure that in the skill section, you call out every single word which people call out as keywords or matched to the T to what is given in the job description. Look at all the hard skills. Look at all the soft skills and ensure that all of the hard skills are called out in your resume also in appropriate fashion. I am a good agile developer. I have done this experience. I am good in Python. I have done these projects, and I have put in this repository. These examples are there in my repository, which you can refer to. And similarly, call out each of the skill set that people want and which is reflected in your resume. Not only for hard skills, but also for soft skills. A lot of time, people don't pay enough attention to the soft skills. And in this day and age, soft skills, to my mind, are even more important than the hard skills, because unless you have the right soft skills, you will not be able to bear to play your hard skills. If you don't have the right communication ability, it will be very hard for you to work in teams and deliver with whatever skill sets you have. And hence, that is the reason why people are looking for soft skills. That is the reason why you should give very good attention to soft skills also and call out with examples as to how these soft skills are there in you with relevant examples. Similarly, call out certifications, call out languages, whatever you are good at, whatever you have got certifications on, without omitting, as long as it is relevant. There could be, let's say, 10 certifications that you have done because you were jobless in COVID. That's okay. A lot of people are jobless in COVID times. Just because you have done 10 certifications, that doesn't mean that you have to call out all 10 certifications. No, call out only those certifications which are relevant for the position that you're applying. That is what I'm repeatedly talking about in this episode. Call out what is relevant. Ensure that your resume is a match to the T of what the job description is asking for. Similarly, call out the courses that you have done, the certification that you have got, and the experience that you have. All of these matching and therefore conveniently removing whatever is not matching. The fact that you have done 8 more certification doesn't really matter. What matters is the 2 certification that are really, really backing up your skill set in terms of what they're asking for. Once you've done all of this, basic things, ensure that the formatting is good, ensure that there are no errors, grammatical errors, spelling errors, and so on, so on. Ensure you read it once, twice, run it through spell checker, and so on. So that your resume is not having any spelling errors, any grammatical errors whatsoever. They become ISOs when in a finished resume, I see a spelling mistake or a grammatical mistake. It becomes very, very annoying. The first thought which comes to my mind is, has this person not even seen this? What is this person going to be in my place? That is what runs through in my mind. So please avoid that. Then ensure that it is visually looking good. Use appropriate section heads, and just so that it passes through the ATS, use the most commonly used section heads. Call experience as experience, educational qualification, skill set as skill set. Don't change these names and give some fancy names. Don't do that. Just to ensure that it follows the ATS, the application tracking system protocols, and it passes through so that you get a great chance of getting that interview. Once you ensure all of this, look at it, read it once more, ensure that your resume is all of 1.5 to 2 pages. Ideally 1 page. If you have 8 years or less, there's a Google thumb rule that they use. If you have 8 years or less, 1 page. Maybe every 8 years of experience can give you the liberty and the license of taking 1 more page of resume. But for God's sake, don't exceed 2 pages. Nobody has a patience for it. And ensure that your resume is about 2 pages long, even however great your experience may be. Once you do that, format it. And for God's sake, in the name of shrinking the resume, don't use 8-point font and so on. So that is not going to work. Remember, whoever is going to read is going to be a very old person, a senior person, and the person needs at least a 12-point font to read something legibly. So remember all of this, and hence prepare your resume so that it is an absolute match with what the job description is. Once you prepare this, I'm sure you will have a very, very great chance of being called for that interview. Wishing you all the very best for that interview, and see you in our next episode. Like and subscribe to the channel for more tips like this. See you in our next episode.